we've got an RC Hot Rod. This thing is a 10 scale brushless ready to run from Team Associated, who's made tons of different ready to runs off this Pro 2 chassis, but this one has something that's a little different than the others that I think is going to be a big advantage for people who like to do some customization. So let's check it out. So included is the car, the transmitter, the instructions, and a few basic tools. Now one of the most satisfying parts. Oh yeah. This thing looks pretty dang good. The hot rod body is pretty nice. We've got decals over the windows with a little bit of gray window trim going around. There's not many decals on here except for these flames. These are big old decals going all the way down the side of the body. Body is just painted black. Some exhaust decals on the side. There's more on this side too. It's a big old grill decal up front. And then there's another decal going over this hood scoop, which you could probably cut out if you wanted to have some more ventilation going over the chassis and the electronics. Couple of vent decals on the side, some brake lights and tail lights. I think this body looks really fantastic. It's pretty simple and minimal, and it could be a good starting point to add on and do more to it. Now these Pro 2 Team Associated cars, the cool thing about them is they're based off the B6 competition buggy. So they're really high quality platforms. They're not your typical ready to run. This thing comes pretty decked out of the box. And it's a chassis that's gonna last a long time. There's an immense amount of upgrades and accessories that you can get for them. And one of the coolest things is that you can take this one platform and turn it into a lot of different cars by swapping out the body, the tires. It's really versatile. And Team Associated has done just that by taking this platform and creating so many different cars with it. It's kind of crazy. And some of the body styles are like, you kind of love them or hate them. Now, for instance, here's the Dakar Rally Racer, and then this is the trophy truck. And these are all the same cars pretty much. Underneath, they use the same Pro 2 chassis, same electronics. They just have different heights on the body mounts and then different bodies. One thing that's kind of cool about these platforms is that the hot rod in both of these trucks, they all share the SW or short wheelbase chassis, which is an 11-inch long wheelbase. And that's the same chassis that's used on the RB10 buggy and then the SR10 oval car. There is a longer chassis though, that's about 12.7 inches, and that's used on the Pro 2 SC10 short course truck and then the DR10 drag car. Speaking of drag cars, the one feature on this car that I think is a huge advantage that the other Pro 2 vehicles don't have, except for the buggy, is the fact that the body does not go over the tires, which makes changing out these tires really easy, especially larger diameter tires, and you'd have the clearance to do it without the tires hitting the body. I'm all for changing out tires and repurposing one platform to be many things, and I think this hot rod in particular will do that really well. So let's put these drag tires on it. Voila, dude. That is so cool, man. Look at that. Look at that. That is that not sick or what? Now, it may have the short wheelbase on here, but you could still drag race this thing. Add a DR10 wheelie bar to the back and boom, you'd be good to go. And it looks phenomenal. The tires and wheels fit on there cool, and it has a really good looking rake on the chassis. That right there improved the car a lot over the stock tires and wheels. Or how about something more off-roady? These are 1.9 rock crawler tires. They're from RC four-wheel drive, the TSL boggers, super swampers, and they just look freaking rad with this hot rod body. For general bashing off-road, these would be pretty dang killer. Now, when you're at full steering lock, the tire does hit the body a little bit here. In a worst case situation, you could trim and cut the body a little bit. Would really not like to do that though. Another option is to turn down the dual rate or the DL knob on the transmitter, which limits how much steering the truck car has. But I have a feeling in an off-road loose environment, there's gonna be lots of rear end sliding around anyways, so that may be beneficial to have less steering. Either way, if we limit the steering throw, it won't rub on the body. Now, before we go out and drive it, Let's just check out this chassis. It is a plastic tub chassis. Most of the parts in this car are gonna be plastic, but we do have aluminum oil-filled shocks. They're adjustable. We have proper adjustable turnbuckles. They're notched. The drive shafts in the rear end are steel CVDs. They're proper parts. It's all bearings. We've got a brushless speed controller, brushless motor, and it's 2 and 3 cell LiPo compatible. Gonna do a 2S speed run. What do we do? 19 miles an hour, oh my goodness. You just tap the brakes a little bit and the rear end just slides around. That short wheelbase really heightens the steering and the cornering response. It does seem a little lacking on power, it just kind of tacks out fast. So let's put the 3S in. One thing I noticed about the Hot Rod is it has smaller diameter tires over that Dakar and trophy truck. Taller tires would make this thing a little bit faster because I bet the gearing is the same amongst all 3 of them. One of the 14 scale? Yeah, it's a 16 scale. 16 flat? Yeah, I just bought it for around with it. I usually just run my electric. Yeah. This is my only electric. Oh no! Ah. Something interesting is there's no front bumper on the Hot Rod like there is on the Dakar and trophy truck. So let's try not to hang up or clip any of these arms out here. It slides out a lot on this loose dirt. Better tires out here would help that get more grip, but woo, bit of a handful. I think in loose traction conditions, the car is way better on 2S. It's just gonna be more controllable. Joking. Let's try the off-road tires. Ooh. Dude, pop the wheelie. No. Well, not that serious, but the glue bead failed. That's our fault. The car wasn't that powerful to rip the tire off. Somebody glued these tires and they looked like they were kind of iffy. I won't name any names. It was me. All right, last we got the drag tires on there. The body's a little dusty, but they look really cool on this car. Oh.
Should I actually try to do a drag pass? Needs a wheelie bar really bad. All right, that's the last time you get to drive. Pretty tough. I think the drag race tires are my favorite tires on here so far. It hooks up really well, pops wheelies. It's a lot of fun. It looks great. And yeah, this thing is just rad.
So overall, the Pro2 Hot Rod is a great little car. I really like the advantages of having a body that doesn't tuck over the tires, so you can change them out easily without rubbing. But for a two-wheel drive 10-scale rig to bash around and to transform and kind of turn into a lot of different platforms, I think this is a really great way to go. The other Pro2 vehicles are really good options too, and the trophy truck and Dakar actually handled better on the dirt oval, probably from their different tires. Surprisingly, even though the Hot Rod doesn't have any bumpers, man, it really held up to some abuse, and towards the end of our driving, we were really leaning into it, and it took a lot of hits, but it just kept bouncing back and asking for more. Guys, I'm Brett from AMain Hobbies, and thanks for watching this video on the Pro2 Hot Rod, and if you want to go check it out, check out our links that are down below in the description box, and if you want more RC videos, check these out.
Really done this time, really done.